So, how does Patrick Mahomes' ankle injury affect the Chiefs moving forward?
I don't know the severity of the injury. Last thing I seen, it was a high ankle sprain, so I believe he'll be back for the playoffs. As far as it affecting the team as a whole, I think it'll be a good thing to have Patrick rest, even if he isn't severely hurt. I think there's no wrong with a little rest, especially they've locked up a playoff spot. They're going to the playoffs. So as far as affecting them, I don't think it's going to affect them. If we were talking about their playoff chances, I don't see them going to the Super Bowl again, even with a healthy Patrick Mahomes. I'm not one to bet against Patrick Mahomes. He's just like Brady. But man, Josh Allen and these guys are playing. They're playing some great football right now. So that ankle, I think it's not as big of a concern as it's not season ending. He's going to be back for the playoffs, so I think he's fine. But even with a healthy Patrick Mahomes, a healthy ankle, I don't see the Chiefs coming out of the AFC.
They just won a Super Bowl, and you don't see them coming out the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at the Chiefs, they're on prime time dang near every week, so it's hard to miss a Chiefs game. But the offense isn't as explosive. The O line is atrocious. I think if anything that's going to stop them, that O line is terrible. They have Patrick. That's why he got the ankle sprain. He's running for his life back there. So this doesn't look like the same Chiefs team that we've seen in the past that won those two back-to-back Super Bowls. But I'm not one to bet against Patrick Mahomes. When Patrick Mahomes is in the game, all bets are off. He can do anything. But as far as looking at this Chiefs team, man, the defense is always going to be stand-up. The defense is always going to be great, and that's what wins playoff games. But I just don't know if they see Josh Allen and they have to face Josh Allen in that offense. I don't see them coming out there. I don't.
With Patrick Mahomes' injury, like you were saying, a high ankle sprain, I think I was reading somewhere or watching different sports medicine type of videos. If you're gonna have an ankle sprain, I think you would rather, and doctors out there correct me if I'm wrong, I'm really big into the medical field. I love sports medicine, all that good stuff. But I think they were saying that it's better to have a high ankle sprain than a low ankle sprain. If you're gonna have an ankle sprain, they're probably saying like the high ankle sprain would be the one you would rather have. And to your point about Patrick Mahomes not playing or resting, I think that's probably a good idea. Even if he is healthy, I
Yeah.
think it would be good to rest him at least a week or two because they're already going to the playoffs. Like they're fine. Maybe Carson Wentz can come in, do pretty well. We'll see. They still won the game. So it's not really too big of an issue. They still beat the Browns, and the Texans have played pretty well. It's kind of been like off and on with them, but Houston versus Kansas City, and they're playing without Patrick Mahomes. That'll be a game to see. But even if the Chiefs win or lose, they'll be fine at the end of the day. But even with Patrick Mahomes this season, he hasn't played that great. I like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a great player, all this stuff. But just this season, he hasn't played particularly well. And these ankle injuries have been starting to become like an issue because this is not the first time Pat has messed his ankle up. He did it last year, and so it's happened before. But we'll
Yeah.
definitely see.
And I definitely think, like, to your point, I don't think the whole this season of Patrick Mahomes, I don't think it's just because of him. Like I said, that O line is giving him fits. He's been having to run for his life. And if you look at that receiver group, I mean, Xavier Worthy was a good pick. I think he can be a good number two, a good slot receiver. But it's just the explosiveness is not there that we've seen in previous years. And I don't know how that's going to translate when we come to the playoffs. I know they can play good defense all they want, but they have to score points. And that explosiveness in the offense we have not seen this year. So I don't know how that fares for them. I think if the Chiefs are smart, they sit Patrick Mahomes this week, let Carson Wentz be a game manager. But Patrick Mahomes loves the big time. And like you said, they play the Texans. I believe they play the Texans on Netflix. This is the first time the NFL has ever had a game on Netflix. I could very well see Patrick wrapping that ankle up heavy and going out there and playing. I don't think it's the best for the team, but I could definitely see him doing it.
You were talking about the Buffalo Bills probably coming out the AFC, and the Bills have played really good. Some people were saying that Josh Allen is the MVP. Some people say it's Lamar Jackson. Some people say it's Saquon Barkley, all this stuff.
Yep.
But Josh Allen has done really well. And when they played against the Chiefs, I think Josh was just like, okay, I'm going to play my game, and I'm not going to try to outthrow Pat Mahomes. I'm not going to try to do anything that I haven't been doing already. He's just like, I'm just gonna play, and he just played, and he's like, all right, well, I'm looking around, I'm getting rushed, and it's open. I'm just gonna run, and it's like, well, I'm watching the game, and I'm like, well, Josh, they can't tackle you one on one. That's what it appears to look like. So they're not tackling Josh Allen one on one, and for the end of the game, it's just like, all right, it's just open, and they're not gonna tackle me, and it is what it is, and they won the game. So it really just depends, but I think the Bills will definitely see the Kansas City Chiefs again in the playoffs. And even when the Bills lost to the Chiefs last year, it wasn't Josh Allen's fault.
Yeah, I don't. It hasn't been Josh Allen's fault when they've been there. It's been the defense. The defense played some good games, but they've also gave up a lot of points. So I think if anything that's going to stop the Bills from reaching the Super Bowl this year is going to be that defense because Josh Allen, James Cook, those weapons on offense. Even though they don't have Stephon Diggs this year, Shakir has stepped up. Keon Cole has stepped up. They just got Amari Cooper. I think he's going to be great. Kincaid at tight end. Like they have weapons. So I think if anything, Superman is not going to stop him. Josh Allen is going to show up like he always shows up in the playoffs. That defense is what's going to be between them going home in the AFC Championship or going to the Super Bowl.